Welcome to today's video, where we step beyond the limits of our world and into the vast darkness of space, where danger drifts silently waiting. Earth has been scarred before, monstrous impacts that have reshaped landscapes, wiped out species, and sent civilizations into chaos. But today, we are no longer helpless spectators in the face of cosmic doom. We watch, we act, and if necessary, we fight back. The next celestial intruder to graze our cosmic doorstep is Asteroid 2008 OS7, a colossal fragment of the universe, hurtling toward Earth at an astonishing 64,000 kilometers per hour. It measures up to 280 meters across, the height of a skyscraper poised to challenge the heavens. This rogue behemoth will come within a nerve-wracking 3 million kilometers of our planet, a mere breath away in the vast, unforgiving void. Though it poses no immediate threat, its approach is an unsettling whisper of inevitability. The cosmos does not play favorites, and next time, we may not be so lucky. Long before an asteroid threatens our world, silent sentinels scan the sky. Perched on remote mountaintops, orbiting high above in the void, and sweeping the abyss with robotic precision, telescopes scour the heavens for the faintest trace of movement. This is our first and only early warning system. The International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, a fragile alliance of scientists, forms a shield of knowledge between humanity and the unknown. Detection begins with relentless vigilance. Thousands of images captured every night, scrutinized by artificial intelligence trained to hunt for anomalies. When a new asteroid is spotted, it is not simply recorded, it is interrogated. Its trajectory is unraveled, its velocity dissected, its future foretold. If the calculations sketch a collision course with Earth, the world's greatest minds are summoned to the front lines of an invisible war, racing against the relentless march of fate. But precision is a fickle ally. Asteroids do not glide in perfect lines. They are yanked and twisted by the invisible hands of gravity, nudged by cosmic forces we barely comprehend. What seems like a harmless past today could be tomorrow's death knell. This is why astronomers obsessively refine their calculations, updating projections with every breath of celestial movement. Because if the numbers start whispering of catastrophe, the countdown to impact has already begun. Reality is not kind. Knowing an asteroid is coming as a cold comfort when our ability to stop it remains uncertain. We have ideas, theories, and fledgling technologies. But are they enough when the universe delivers an extinction-level ultimatum? The most tested weapon in our arsenal is the kinetic impactor, a spacecraft designed for one purpose: a high-speed collision. In 2022, NASA's DART mission proved it could work, slamming into an asteroid at 24,000 kilometers per hour and altering its orbit. But in a real crisis, would we have years to prepare? Could we build, launch, and intercept a celestial warhead before it reaches us? One miscalculation, one failure to make contact, and we would be left with nothing but time to watch the inevitable unfold. Another strategy, the gravity tractor, involves a spacecraft gently tugging an asteroid off course using its own gravitational pull. But this delicate maneuver demands years, time we may not have when faced with an imminent threat. It is a tool for the patient, and patience is a luxury when the clock is ticking toward annihilation. And then, there is the nuclear option, the last desperate act. Forget Hollywood explosions. This is not about vaporizing a rock into nothingness. A carefully placed detonation near an asteroid could create a forceful push, nudging it just enough to miss our fragile world. But the risks are nightmarish. If the explosion fractures the asteroid instead, we could trade one catastrophe for a rain of smaller, city-leveling impacts. And even if a solution exists, will world governments ever agree to detonate a nuclear device in space? Will bureaucracy and fear doom us before the asteroid does? Every method we have hinges on a single, terrifying factor: time. Time to detect. Time to act. Time to survive. And time, the most ruthless force in the universe, does not wait for humanity to catch up. But what if the warnings come too late? What if the asteroid is already upon us before we can even think of stopping it? In that moment, humanity would face a truth it has not confronted in millennia. Survival is no longer a certainty. The Space Mission Planning Advisory Group, SMPAG, a coalition of international experts, would enter crisis mode. But cooperation would be fraught with political hesitation, mistrust, and bureaucratic paralysis. Nations, already burdened by their own crises, would struggle to set aside their rivalries. Some might refuse to act until the threat became undeniable. Others would demand unilateral control, igniting conflicts over jurisdiction and decision-making power. In a crisis that demands unity, division could be our undoing. Governments would declare global emergencies. Borders would lock down. Panic would become the new currency of the world. As evacuation efforts begin, highways would turn into endless rivers of desperation, clogged with abandoned vehicles and desperate souls fleeing to nowhere. Airports would descend into chaos as private airfields are seized for emergency flights, but airspace congestion and political disputes could render them useless. Social media would be a battlefield of misinformation, conspiracy theories, and empty reassurances. The wealthy would retreat to hidden bunkers, while the masses are left to scramble for what little refuge remains. For those caught in the projected impact zone, survival would be a matter of seconds. NASA has grim guidelines. Shelter in deep, reinforced structures, underground bunkers, or vast parking garages. Anywhere capable of withstanding the overpressure wave that will obliterate everything in its path. Windows would become deadly weapons as shockwaves turn glass into airborne razors. The Chelyabinsk event of 2013, where a mere 18-meter asteroid shattered windows and injured over 1,600 people, was but a whisper of what a true impact would unleash. And when the asteroid strikes, if it plunges into the ocean, tsunamis hundreds of meters high will rise, consuming coastlines in minutes. If it slams into land, a firestorm will ignite everything in its path: forests, cities, the very air itself. Dust and debris will darken the sky, plunging the world into a cold, endless night. Crops will wither. Supply chains will shatter. Civilization will claw desperately at survival, but many will not endure. Yet, in the wreckage of annihilation, there will be those who survive. Hidden bunkers stocked with rations, isolated communities prepared for the worst, underground shelters where flickers of human resilience will persist. Governments will attempt to piece together what remains, imposing martial law, rationing supplies, and desperately trying to prevent civilization from collapsing entirely. And slowly, the dust will settle. The sun will return, and those who remain will step into a world reshaped by fire and stone. Because extinction is not an option. We fight, we endure, and when the sky falls, we rise again.